98FM. The sound of the city.
98FM's Dublin Talks. Weekdays from 10 a.m.
With Adrian Kennedy.
Now, I've literally only mentioned this, and my God, the response to this already is unbelievable. We've obviously hit on a nerve. All around Dublin at the moment, there are huge posters promoting a vegan lifestyle. Some of these posters, you will have seen them, I'm sure. Most of the posters have animals on them, and they have different headings on them. One of the posters reads, "Humane eggs are a myth. Don't buy them." Another says, "Dairy takes babies away from their mothers. Go vegan." Another poster says, "Humane milk is a myth. Don't buy it." These posters are dotted all over the city centre. One of these posters has been erected near the North Road in Finglas and has upset a few people in the area, including Peter, who contacted us yesterday wanting this topic brought up, and we're happy to bring it up for you, Peter. He said, "Lads, did you see the massive poster in Finglas trying to make us feel guilty about eating dairy? It's typical of vegans trying to make us feel guilty and wanting us to give up everything and live off salad. I work in a butcher's near Finglas, I can't say which one, and these vegans with their posters are trying to put us out of business. They should stop judging people who eat meat. A few months ago, we had a group of them protesting outside a shop and intimidating customers coming in. Why can't vegans not accept that some people eat meat? Stop trying to make us feel guilty. Being a vegan is not a healthy lifestyle," says Peter. And I have to be honest with you, there's a lot of anti-vegans, and we want this topic obviously to be as balanced as possible, so I'd like to hear from vegans. You're normally fairly outspoken about stuff like this, so if you want to call us, we will give your calls priority. You can call us on 6797 981, 6797 981, or better still, text or WhatsApp us on 087 798 98 98. Let me go to Peter first of all. Peter, how are you?
Hey, how are you doing?
Now, you're not the Peter that sent you're not the Peter the butcher, are you?
No,
but are you a meat eater?
I am. I can take it or leave it, but yeah, I would be, yeah.
And what's your issue with vegans?
See, Guinness was my big issue with they've been campaigning Guinness for years to take the fish bladders out of the process in making Guinness. So that was my big problem, because I do think it's such a traditional, it's a very old recipe, and it shouldn't have been touched. So they took the fish bladders out. I think it was a filtering system.
It was about a year ago they did it.
Yeah.
They used to use fish bladders in their filters. There wasn't actually fish bladders in Guinness, but they'd use it in the filters. And about a year ago, because of vegans, I suppose, Guinness went vegan. And did that bother you? Did it?
It did. I think it's such an old recipe. It shouldn't have been touched. I think that's sacred, you know.
But Guinness still tastes the same, does it not, with or without the whole fish bladder thing?
So. I honestly think that I've been drinking. I'm 50 years of age. I've been drinking Guinness since I was let's say 18. But I think the creaminess has kind of gone after a while. You know, I kind of have to drink a little bit faster now to make it taste as good the whole way down. So yeah, I do think it's a little bit odd that they would change it, and I do think that it used to taste better a couple of years ago. Okay,
forgetting about Guinness for a second, well, can you not understand why Guinness did that? Because obviously they wanted to make their stout available to everybody, and if you were a vegan, you couldn't drink Guinness because of that.
Yeah, well, that's tough, isn't it? You know, I just think there's something to do. Mess with Coca-Cola that would never change their recipe, even with all the sugar taxes coming out. They're still saying we're not going to change. That's our recipe.
So we should stop giving in to vegans. And in fact, there was a story during the week where there was an emoji set up, a salad emoji, and the emoji had a picture of an egg in it. And of course, the vegans complained about that, and Google had to take the egg out of the salad because vegans were saying, "Oh, it's not a real salad if it has an egg in it. How dare you? How dare you put an egg in a salad?" Let me go to Peter next. Peter, you're on 98FM. How are you?
How's it going, Jeremy?
Grant, what would you like to say about this?
I eat meat. Like last night I only had 25 chicken wings just to work on the clear. But they're allowed to advertise the posters. People are upset, like, oh my God, the vegans are trying to push this down our throat. How do you think vegans feel when they see pictures of steaks on posters? You know what I mean? And everybody's like, oh, I'm upset at that poster of a cow licking a baby cow or a dog and a sheep. But you're not upset about the cow going into an abattoir and getting his head blown out and then getting chopped up. Do you know what I mean?
Why do you honestly think that vegans get obsessed when they see a picture of a steak?
You know yourself. You use the word feminazis for crazy feminists. There's crazy vegans out there.
Sorry, there's such a thing as a vegan Nazi. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you look at there was only a protest. I think the fellow was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and the vegans were outside his meat restaurant protesting meat, and then they were upset because he took a piece of meat out in front of the window and butchered it in front of him. That's his business. That's what they want to do. People want to go in there and eat. That's their life choice.
Okay, so you're saying we should live and let live, and vegans should accept meat eaters, and meat eaters should accept vegans.
Yeah, like you can get out, you can advertise, and you can say that this is bad and that's bad. Everybody's allowed to do that. You can go out and you can protest. We have no right to go outside and protest outside some butchers and say blah blah blah. And no, that's not right. But
I have to be honest with you, Peter. I have an issue with some of these posters. Okay, I don't need to be told that eating dairy takes babies from their mothers. I mean, I don't want to feel guilty about eating a yogurt or having milk with my tea. Why should they have to tell me that?
Well, it's because it's fact. Because most people don't realise it. Some kids nowadays don't even know what a head of broccoli looks like. Do you know what I mean? So they still have the right, and that's exactly what happens when the mother drops the calf gets the force feed, and they rip the calf away and start milking the cow. We don't do it to any other animal. We don't go, oh, let's go drink whatever. Goats, we do drink goat's milk, but we don't go, let's drink dog milk, let's drink cat milk. Why do we decide to drink cow's milk? And the only reason why we use the certain cow is because they produce more milk. Okay,
stay there for a second, please, Peter. 6797 981 is our telephone number. Text or WhatsApp us 0877 98 98 98. If you're a vegan, preferably. Whatever your opinion is. Robert, how are you? You're a dairy farmer, is that right?
Yeah, I am.
How do you feel about these posters all over Dublin at the moment promoting veganism? Not doing you any favours, I'm sure, are they?
Well, to be honest now, when they always say about dairy, the cows are getting the calves ripped away, there's a reason for that, because we've had calves with cows and stuff, and then you leave them there for about an hour or that, and you come back to a dead calf.
And why is that?
The cow would walk on it. The cow wouldn't know what it is, and they'd end up kicking it, and it'd walk on it, and it wouldn't feed it, and it'll just disown it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so it's for its own safety,
Okay, so with the vegans that are saying to take a calf away from a cow being cruel, you're saying that is the only way to do it because
it's the chance of it actually surviving.
And do you find that vegans are regularly shoving their beliefs down your throat, or do you think they have every right to promote veganism?
They do, but then they use propaganda, and then they're using the videos and all that stuff that they use. It's all from factory farms in Israel and all those places. And places around the world, they're all factory farms, a couple of thousand cows, and they can't compare it to Irish farms,
Okay, can you tell me as a dairy farmer, okay, supposing I'm feeling guilty about eating dairy food, can you tell me, and you can't speak for every dairy farmer in Ireland, but can you tell me with your hand on your heart that if I eat a yoghurt from Ireland today, or I drink a pint of milk from Ireland today, that the animal involved in the production of that has not been harmed or distressed in any way?
Well, it depends on where it's from. If it's an Irish product and had the board be a...
No, that's what I'm saying. If it's an Irish product. Okay, so it's Irish yoghurt made in Ireland or milk made in Ireland. You're saying, with your hand on your heart, that I shouldn't feel guilty about it?
No, you shouldn't.
Stay there for
They're looked after. They're grass-based farms. They're not in sheds all their life, and they're not force-fed and all that. They're out in the green fields eating grass.
Okay, so to take milk from a cow or from a calf is not in any way cruel.
No, because if you were to put the calf with the cow produces about 30 to 40 litres, and a calf's only meant to get about 4 litres.
So there's a lot of surplus. There's a lot of
surplus meat.
Okay, so why are vegans then telling me that it's wrong to eat dairy? Because, as they say in the poster, dairy takes babies from their mothers, and you're saying that's propaganda.
It's propaganda, but it has to be done in order to get that calf to grow. In order to not kill the calf. I've seen them kicked. I've seen animals go at them, and then I've seen them being disowned and everything. They're not maternal.
Okay,
compared to other animals.
say that for a second. Very interesting to hear that side of it. So he's saying these posters are propaganda. Sarah, you're on 98 FM. How are you?
Hi.
Now you're a vegan, is that right?
I am, and I've been a vegetarian for maybe 13 years, and I only recently became vegan in January this year. So I'm still kind of new to it. I'm still kind of figuring out. There's so much conflicting information. There's so
it's hard to know what the truth is. It really is.
No, it is. And even I agree. I think I'm kind of a skeptic. I think everybody has an agenda these days. I never know what is the right thing. But what I do believe is I have opened my eyes to a lot of animal issues, and I do watch a lot of the documentaries and the videos, and I just feel in my heart that it's wrong what's being done. And I know, I have children, I feed them meat. I wouldn't enforce my beliefs on them. So all I can do is just kind of inform them in little ways I can. I know the point you're making, Sarah, but as Robert was saying, I saw a video online there a couple of weeks ago on Facebook, and it showed a cow being slaughtered in this big machine. The cow was locked into the machine, and the machine was turning it upside down and killing it in the most disgusting way. I know.
Now, what Robert would argue, and this video was not recorded in Ireland, and the point I would make is that Ireland, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to the treatment of animals, I think Ireland is ahead of the curve here.
Yes, and actually I do agree. I know there's people are not going to, we're never going to get the whole world to stop eating meat, which is, fair enough. And I'm not even at a stage where my diet, I think I would happily advise somebody on it, because I'm still figuring out how I get all my essential vitamins and minerals and things. But people have said I look great, my skin is glowing. I look, I have a lot of energy.
Okay, so did you do it for health reasons, or because you felt sad about that?
Initially actually it was for health, to be honest. I was very lactose intolerant, so I signed up for a challenge, and then kind of just got my eyes opened to the animal rights side of it. But kind of what bothers me, even in my day-to-day life when I'm talking to people about it, because I don't go around shouting from the rooftops, I just try to kind of quietly do my own part. But what bothers me is that people won't even open their eyes to what's happening. Like you said earlier, don't make me feel guilty for drinking it. But if you feel guilty, then does that not mean that's wrong?
Well, no, I don't. I don't feel guilty about it. Well, you're after hearing from a dairy farmer there who said that if the dairy products are made, produced in Ireland, to the best of his knowledge, there's no harm being caused to the animals or distress.
Okay, well, do you know what then? I would actually, and I have had this discussion with my friends who have said that all this kind of insane agricultural torture is happening in different countries, but I would like to then go and visit his farm and see if he could show me, and then I could do videos of Ireland, how it's done in Ireland then. Would he be willing to do that? I don't know. We'll try and get that dairy farmer back on and ask him. So you want him to invite him to invite you to his dairy farm to examine it. I'm sure his dairy farm has been examined. And what are you hoping to find going on there? I was kind of I wouldn't like to see are the calves like that brutally taken away. And I disagree with his point that cows don't have feelings. They're very intelligent, loving animals, and there's videos of them crying actual tears when their babies are taken away from them. So I certainly don't agree with that. But I would like to see because obviously I know driving through Ireland, you see cows in the fields and they look happy enough, Yeah. I would like to think that they at least have a good life before they're slaughtered. Okay, well let me put that to Robert. Robert, can you invite Sarah along to your dairy farm?
Yeah, no problem.
Have you anything to hide?
No, don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. No. And
as I said, I'm not judgmental. I give my own children milk. I give them meat, but I would like to, know where it's coming from, to know that they're being treated at least, kindly during their lives, and that's just a fact of life. I could never eat meat or dairy again, but I'm not going to enforce that on anyone else. But I would like people just to be aware of what's happening. Okay, well we'll put you both in contact with each other. Peter, Robert, you're saying you've nothing to hide, that all the animals in your dairy farm are as happy as Larry.
There's another thing I'd like to bring up. They always argue about deforestation and crops, and you should be growing crops instead of feeding animals and that. But a lot of agricultural land in Ireland can't sustain agricultural crops. That's one thing you have to look at. And then if you want to grow these crops, you're going to need organic matter, you're going to need slurry, you're going to need dung and all that. And where are you going to get it if you've no cows?
Yeah,
That
no,
fuels
that's
the
true.
growth
And
crops.
there will be a lot of elements that I'm unsure of at the moment. I'm still trying to figure
Okay.
out.
Okay, do me a favour, stay there for a second, please, Sarah. I have a lot of calls to get through. Let me go to Michael. Michael, you're on 98FM. How are you?
Well,
Hi, Michael. How are things?
Bonsoir.
Now, you have no time for vegans, is that right?
You're talking to the lepers of society. Come on, man. Jesus Christ.
The lepers of society. Why? What have they done on you?
Well, I have a friend who's a vegan and she's all high, mighty, powerful. I live the pure life. Listen, hey, Jeremy, show me where these posters are. I'll go and set up a table, get a rack of bleeding ribs, a few burgers, and we'll just have a chow down. Why would you feel guilty about eating yogurt or drinking milk? Animals are there for us for that reason.
Well,
I
Sarah,
disagree. No, completely
Of course you disagree. You're vegan. You're pure. You're great.
Yeah. No, I'm not pure or great, but they're not there for our use. They have just as a right to be here as we do.
Yeah, no, I'm not doubting that. And you know what, love? They taste great with a bit of garlic sauce and a bit of gravy.
Yes, that they possibly do for you.
but why can't you accept, Michael? Why can't you accept that Sarah doesn't want to get involved in anything that causes distress or harm to animals?
I have no problem with it, but Jeremy, all they do is they go around the butchers, they go around the farms, they scream, they cry, oh, the poor animals, the poor animals. Leave the bleeding animals alone.
So Sarah's not protesting outside a butcher shop, are you?
No.
No,
I
Jeremy,
actually
all
go
you
to my
get is
local.
the vegan power movement.
No. Well, I actually go to my local butchers, obviously, and try and get my children the best meat, I think.
So you're not purebred then.
No, well, I'm not. Like, I have children. I'm not going to enforce on them, but I feel very sad when I'm in the butchers. I feel really upset. I feel very conflicted, but I have to...
Well, you feel sad for, the chickens that are hanging there.
I do. I feel really sad. Yeah, it makes me really sad. I get very upset.
Right. They're not... How do you know they even ever felt pain? You know what I mean? Until Dr. Doolittle comes along and tells me they don't like it.
Okay, can I ask you, sorry Michael, have you ever watched any of the documentaries? Would you be willing to watch any of them?
Yeah, I watched all of them. I've watched all the documentaries on animals being slaughtered and all. Oh, sorry, I like me burgers, I like me chicken, and I'm not about to go being all vegetarian. I'm not a rabbit.
And let me ask you a question. Here's a text. Can you please ask Sarah what she wants to do with all the cows if we stop eating them?
Okay, well, that's another thing, obviously. I think it's humanity's problem that they have bred so many of these animals for their own use. So, realistically, people are going to keep eating them, so that's never going to be an issue.
Okay, you're always going to have meat eaters.
Yeah, I think if it got to a stage where the humans just stopped reproducing them, then would they ever get back to a level where they're just like any other wild animals, like horses or... cause why did people pick cows initially to start milking and eating? Why not a horse? Why not a giraffe?
God only knows how it started. Another question for you, Sarah. If she was that much of a vegan, she wouldn't be buying meat for her children. She's a hypocrite. I'm just reading out texts that they're coming in for you.
Yeah, no, and I agree. And again, that's something that really upsets me. But what's the alternative if I can't... I bring my children out to vegan places. We go and I tell them all about animals. I brought them to sanctuaries. I'm just trying to gradually, I don't want to be one of the vegans that's forcing things down people. So I want to open their eyes and let them make their own decision when they're old enough. Yeah,
and I think fair play to you. There's nothing that annoys me more than vegetarian and vegan parents who instill their beliefs on their children and take away meat out of their diet. You don't instill those. No. If your child wants to eat meat, if your child wants spaghetti bolognese for their dinner, I mean, God knows a lot of children don't eat anything. So to get them to eat something, I have to say, Sarah, I think you're a good advertisement for veganism because you're not. I have a friend who's a vegan. And she is militant. She's absolutely militant. Whereas Sarah is just saying, well, it's not for me. Damien, you're very upset with Michael. Why?
Just the way he's going on. He sounds like a bit of a muppet.
He sounds like a muppet. So you're vegan, are you?
I am newly vegan. Yeah, I done it for health reasons.
Okay,
because dairy and meat are the number one causes of all major diseases.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And you've done research into this, have you?
I haven't, no, but there is Harvard research.
Oh, okay. I'll look into that myself. Michael,
watch the documentary, What the Health.
There's
goes into all that.
There's documentaries about everything on YouTube. There's a documentary saying that George Bush was responsible for 9/11. There's a documentary.
But these are all Harvard.
There's a documentary that says Michael Jackson is still alive. There's a documentary that says we're all ruled by the Illuminati. There's documentaries for everything, Damien.
Right. Okay.
Big one.
Sorry,
Jeremy,
Michael. Yes.
Don't forget the big one. The Queen of England is actually a lizard person.
Oh yeah, she's a shape-shifting lizard as well. Yeah, there's all these documentaries. So the point you're trying to make, Damien, is that going vegan is healthier.
Much healthier. 100 times healthier.
Jeremy.
Yes, Michael.
Do you notice the first thing he done as the little vegan heading him done? He insulted me.
Yeah, because you're going on like a muppet.
Why? Because I like to eat meat. I don't care about the cow's feelings. Like what? Like so.
I don't care about the cow's feelings either. I do for health, but just the way you're going on is a bit stupid, really, isn't it?
What he's saying? What he's saying
insulted,
is
insulted that poor girl, the other girl that's on.
No, I think Sarah's quite happy. You don't feel insulted, do you, Sarah?
No, I'm okay.
Yeah, she's grand. Sarah's grand, Damien. Don't be getting upset on Sarah's behalf. She's well able to take it on the chin. Stay there for a second. I've another vegan, Dean. The vegans are coming out of the woodwork. How are you, Dean? You're a vegan.
Yeah, I'm vegan. Animal rights activist as well.
You're what?
Animal rights activist as well.
Very good, and I have to commend you. Anybody that campaigns against animal cruelty is good in my books. I may not necessarily agree with all your points, but
well, fur farming is one for us at the moment, big thing. But then even veganism as well. So.
Yeah, fur farming is something and it's something we will address at a later stage. I just find that abhorrent, fur farming. But let's get back to, and maybe that makes me a hypocrite because I'm against fur farming, but I'll still have a steak for my dinner. So that makes me a hypocrite. Anyway, what would you like to say to these people who are fed up with these posters around Dublin?
Well, I think part of the reason why people get fed up with these posters more so is because, as even the person I believe said, it kind of makes people feel guilty. But when you have posters exposing other industries, even where their food comes from, or if it's to do with some products they're buying, people tend not to feel as guilty. Now, I don't think the answer is to make people feel guilty, because making people feel guilty, who wants to have a discussion if you're going to be pointing the fingers?
But that's the point is, Dean, these posters are they're making me feel guilty. There's one along the canal that I drive by all the time, and it has a little baby lamb in it, I think it does. And I love lamb. I love eating lamb. In fact, I'm going to be eating lamb later. I absolutely love lamb. And I'm looking at this picture of the little lamb and don't eat the lamb, and it is making me feel guilty.
Yeah. Well, I think we'd hope to appeal more to empathy as well. So people can feel guilty, but then they can also look at it and they can empathise, and that could be another way that people could approach it.
Yeah, but I don't make smokers feel guilty about smoking by walking around the streets of Dublin holding up a picture of a cancer-ridden lung. Do I?
Fair, we have that on packets now and everything, so it's, that's kind of everywhere.
Yeah, but it's on a packet that someone is actually buying. They're choosing to buy. Why would you like to see vegan slogans on packages of meat?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's ever going to happen, but I think getting back kind of more to the point, I mean, I think in terms of, we think this from an ethical point of view, is it justified to take milk from another animal? Because, I mean, nobody with, a straight face will say cow's milk is human's milk, because it's clearly not. So is it justified? And also then you have the environment, considering that cows produce so much methane and the impact that that's having on the environment. And then also that you can talk about the health aspects with, meat in general and dairy and eggs. But then again, is it right to take milk from an animal that isn't ours?
Okay, well let me put that to Michael, who loves his burgers and his chicken wings. Michael, is it wrong? Is it not morally wrong to take meat from an animal to eat yourself?
Nowadays, which is important to clarify. We're not
nowadays, yeah, we're not talking about caveman days, yeah.
Jeremy, listen, man. As long as they taste as good as they taste, I'm going to be a meat eater. I like meat. My children eat meat, and I'd never turn around and say just survive on kale or whatever the hell they all eat. Like, it's just a bit weird.
Look it up. There's so many options now. You go to so many different stores. You go to a regular store. There's so many options.
I don't need to look it up. I like going into my local chipper or sitting at home making a steak myself. It's what I like, and nobody's going to turn around and say, "Oh, but the poor cow goes into the machine to get the bullet to the head or a stump to the head or whatever." No, it doesn't. Until the cow stands up on two legs and starts telling me, "Listen, pal, I don't like that happening to me," I'm going to eat it.
No, A lot of people want to get in on this vegan discussion. Peter, you're annoyed with me. Why? What did I do?
No, it's not what you're doing. It's just the attitude you had towards one of the callers there, Jeremy. Yourself and Michael is very condescending towards somebody's beliefs. You know, I watch documentaries just as much as the next person. You watch documentaries yourself. I've heard you talk about them on the show many a times. And people believe in what they read and what they see. You can't judge anybody for their beliefs and what they watch on TV.
Yeah, but the point.
Hold on. Now let me finish. If they believe it and that's what they believe, then it's true in their eyes.
No, I don't have a problem with someone believing something if it's true.
It's the way you criticise them about Michael Jackson might be still alive.
Because Peter, 90% of the stuff on the internet is fake, is false, is fake.
Well, he didn't say the internet. He said he watched the documentary. Listen to what the man had to say. And as for Michael as well, I have absolutely no respect for what that guy says. He comes on, he tries to be controversial in everything he says.
But it's hardly controversial to say
he's not there to have a decent discussion.
But sorry, it's hardly controversial to say he eats chicken wings now.
Let me talk for a second, right? I'm not a vegan, right? I'm a vegetarian, not a vegan. I don't have that strong a belief. I've seen the signs myself. But I'd never turn around and say, I'll rack up a rack of lamb and I'll sit down in front of it and I'll crack on a barbecue and we sit down there and eat our heart's desire. That's just some muppet coming on the radio.
Well, no, hang on. Hang on a sec. My sister's vegetarian, Peter, and I regularly wind her up by eating meat in front of her.
Jeremy, totally disrespectful.
Okay, let me just address one issue first of all, Peter, about the documentaries, and let me make the point that I was making. The point I'm trying to make is most of the documentaries that people watch are on YouTube or on Facebook, okay? The vast majority of these documentaries have an agenda, okay? And what I've seen pictures shared on social media. I've seen a picture shared on social media that showed cats being tied down, and the caption was that they're being used for experiments, and it wasn't. They were cats that were actually in a vet that were getting neutered at the time. What I'm saying is you cannot believe everything you see on the internet. That's the point I'm making. There's
I understand that.
Look how many documentaries.
I understand that, Jeremy, but what my point being is, it's the way you come across towards somebody else's point of view, and if you do not agree with it, you will put them down, and that's what I got from what I heard.
Okay, let me ask Dean. Dean, as a vegan, have I put you down in any way, shape or form?
Not really, but I tend not to.
Oh, not really? That's not good.
I hear people say everything. So, but no, about the documentary, I agree that we can't just trust every documentary we come across. But it wouldn't a good case to be say, well, look at the sources. Look at there's research from Harvard, there's research from Cancer Research UK, there's research from scientific
I've no problem with that. What I'm talking about, but Dean, I find a lot of the videos that are put up by PETA, okay? or PETA, as some people call it. I find a lot of those videos, what PETA do is, and I have great respect for what they do, but what they do a lot of the time is they pick the worst scenarios. They find.
Okay, I agree with that to a certain extent. Now, I'm not a major fan of PETA for various different reasons, but even if you look at a lot of, like, say, slaughterhouse footage, factory farm footage, it's still true that even if you take away the extreme cruelty where they're kicking pigs and they're punching, like, if you actually think of, like, most pigs and most chickens in the world are factory farmed. They're kept in sheds. That's confinement. That's neglectful. I mean, if that was done to dogs or cats, all you have to do to find out if it's animal abuse is put a dog or a cat in that position. And clearly the way pigs and chickens or cats is abusive, but we're so used to it that we don't call it abuse. But it clearly is. Is that not abusive? The confinement, being stuck indoors most of their life and so on.
It's a fair point, and it's hard to argue with. Stay there for a second, Dean, because Jason, you want to say something to Dean, is that right?
Oh, yeah, well, it's just the point he was making about the benefits for the environment if we all stopped eating meat and all that, you know?
Yes, about the methane coming from cows. Huge
things like that, you know, but sure, the slashing and burning the rainforests in South America to grow soybean must be doing a hell of a lot of damage to the environment as well. And the soybean is growing to make tofu and what have you, you know?
Yeah, I know. I've heard people say that, and it's a good point. But then at the same time, way more soy and grain and products are actually fed to the animals because the animals have to eat so much food throughout their life in order to sustain them. And so as a result, more... Yeah,
but is that not just a byproduct from the tofu that they're feeding to the animals?
Because, I mean, you have to produce more soy to feed animals than you have to... if you just gave soy directly to people. So therefore, you're actually producing, ironically, you're actually producing more plants to feed animals on a meat-eating diet than you would if humans just took plants themselves. So a lot of people don't know that, but that is actually the case, and therefore more plants are actually used to feed the animals to begin with.
No, I don't think so. I think the rainforest would be better served being in place than clearing them away for
they're
soya bean and what have you, you know,
rainforest has been cleared,
and all that coconut oil and what have you, you know.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, so much of the rainforest has to be knocked down to produce grain and to produce soy to feed the animals to begin with. So, I mean, look, if everyone ate vegan, it wouldn't be perfect. I agree with that.
No, it wouldn't be possible.
No, it wouldn't be sustainable, and that's never going to happen. Someone just texted in to say within 20 years we'll all be vegan. That's not true at all.
No, that never happened, because there's simply not enough farmable land on the planet to do that.
And can you imagine the amount of? I know you don't care about this, Dean, but the amount of people in Ireland, especially, Ireland is an agricultural country. The amount of meat that we export to the Far East, to the States as well. The amount of jobs that would be at risk if everybody was to turn vegan tomorrow. I know that.
I mean, it's not going to happen tomorrow. And even if it did happen over 50 years or 100 years, I mean, in the end of the day, this will be a gradual change. So therefore, as people spend money less in one area, they spend money more in another sector. That will create more jobs in that sector. So it will allow for a gradual transition. So it wouldn't be overnight. So
what you're saying is everybody would be employed by soybean manufacturing.
Well, it could be a wide range, because, again, if people have spare money, and they spend it elsewhere, they'll be able to create jobs more elsewhere. But if we're talking about over 100 years, I mean, look at how jobs have changed over the last 100 years. It's completely unpredictable. So I think you have to also take into consideration how jobs might appear that we haven't even thought of right now.
Dean,
it wouldn't be like overnight.
Okay, one final question for you, Dean, before I let you go, and it's something that somebody wanted to raise with you. Do you have a problem going to a barbecue where your friends are eating chicken drumsticks and burgers?
I tend not to, on a personal level, not to worry too much. I mean, it's not really something I think about too much.
But you've no problem sitting.
Not really, because I mean, I don't really think of it in that context. What I'm more concerned about is getting these ideas out there, getting discussions, which is what you're having right now, and also getting people to think about it more. And even if people won't go vegan, if they say, "Oh no, I could never do that," well, even cutting down animal products, less demand equals less supply equals less animal suffering, and that is a fact.
Okay, thanks very much for talking to us, Dean. One final call, and that is Eamon. How are you, Eamon? You're a vegan as well, is that right?
Hey, Jeremy, how's it going? Yeah,
good.
I am indeed. Yeah, I'm only a vegan about a year now, so
fair play to you. As I said, I'd love to be able to have the willpower, but I just love my meat too much. Why did you become a vegan?
I actually done it on after watching the documentary What the Health. I mainly done it for health reasons first, but then as I kind of got into it more, I kind of went towards the whole the way the animals are treated part of it.
Okay.
I studied more and read into more of how the industry is.
And of course, that What the Health documentary, very famous documentary, been watched by a lot of people. It's the film that the health organisations don't want you to see. And I'm sure if you did watch it, you probably if you knew everything about every type of food, you'd never eat anything. You know what I mean?
But that's exactly. I always say that to my wife. My wife is very like that, and I always say, Margaret, if you listen to everything that everybody says, then I'm not going to be able to eat anything anymore.
I mean, I worked in I worked in radio. I was a trainee chef in a restaurant, and some of the things I saw in restaurant kitchens you would never eat out in a restaurant again. So sometimes you're better off knowing. So you become a vegan. Do you feel better after becoming a vegan?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I've lost a lot of weight. I feel healthy. I've a lot more energy, and I just the main reason I want to come on is just I think people are missing the point of some of the things like that being said. I think a lot of people and a lot of vegans, they want to push to see it from the animal's point of view, like previous points that were said there about taking calves from babies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But people don't realise that the animals don't have a choice in this. You know, they can't say no to us.
Of course they can
say no, don't take my baby, don't take my eggs, don't do this, do that. You know, we're just doing it for them. You know, we're taking them and we feel as though we're doing good when it's really, really wrong. Like that dairy farm you had on earlier, I would have liked to ask him, when his cows are finished with their milk and all that, what does he do with them? Where do they go?
Yeah, unfortunately, he's not there to answer the question. Let me go. Sorry for cutting across the Eamon. I'm way out of time. One final call, Damien. How has veganism changed your life, Damien?
It's actually Wayne, not Damien.
Sorry, it's who?
It's Wayne, not Damien.
Oh, Wayne. Sorry, they wrote Damien on my screen. I can't get the stuff. Now, Wayne, how has veganism changed your life?
For the last 6 years, I've been suffering from arthritis in the lower back. Crippled with it every day. I was on about 25, 30 painkillers every day. Humira injections, pain patches, remedies, this, that and the other. In and out of hospital constantly, and all they can do is put me on more meds, tell me that we're going to put you on the pain clinic. There was nothing was ever discussed about diet. I was doing a bit of research on the internet and I came across a man by the name of Dr. John McDougall on YouTube, and that led me to also What the Health program. I watched them and I said, I've nothing to lose, I'll give it a go, because the stomach is going to fall out of me if I keep on having these painkillers. I cut out all meat, cut out all dairy. Within 4 days, the pain reduced from a 10 to a 6. But by the second week, I was pain-free.
Wow.
And I cut down on all my meds.
For cutting out dairy and meat?
I cut out dairy and meat, but the more I think of it, I've been introducing a little bit of meat back into my diet to see the way flared up.
Yeah.
And it does make a difference. It's definitely down to the meat and it's definitely down to the dairy.
Okay, fair play to you, Damien. Thanks for sharing your story with us. That if you want to watch it, I'm not telling you to watch anything. I won't watch it. I'd rather live in ignorance, to be honest with you. But the movie is called What the Health, the health film that health organisations don't want you to see. It's been watched by millions of people around the world. What the Health is the groundbreaking follow-up film from the creators of the award-winning documentary Cowspiracy. The film exposes the collusion and corruption in the government and big businesses that is costing us trillions of healthcare and so on and so forth. Anyway, that's what it's called, What the Health film. If you are a vegan, more the power to you. If you have the willpower to be able to do that. I don't. I'd rather, like the majority of people, I think, turn a blind eye to how the meat ends up on my plate. Anyway, thank you very much for all your calls, your comments, your texts. It's 98FM's Dublin Talks.
98FM. The sound of the city.
98FM's Dublin Talks. Weekdays from 10 a.m.
With Adrian Kennedy.